This is Margaret Marshall, your healthy living expert, and we're here today with Laura. And Laura has a challenge that she'd like us all to help her with. So, Laura, how can we help you today?
So I travel a lot. And I know that when we first talked, you helped me overcome a challenge by understanding that food was feeding my body and it was nutrition and not just a part of my selling process. However, now when I travel, oftentimes the food in the hotels is not really that nutritious and planning is a little difficult. So what would you suggest?
Okay, I love the fact that you have embraced something from our previous conversations, because if I remember that conversation correctly, it was you felt you had to eat with everybody in order to be included and eat and drink what they're doing. Am I right on that? Okay,
Yes.
so you've overcome that.
Right.
Good for you. So your next question is, how do I plan? And what was the other challenge you had?
So how do I plan when traveling and avoid being caught up in the fast food or the food that's prepared by the hotels, which is not always very nutritious?
Okay. I would think, Laura, that you're better off eating in the hotels than in the fast food places. Do you go to restaurants at all, or is it just in the hotels?
No, we go to the restaurants as well. I've been
Okay.
trying to stay with Mexican or Thai.
Okay. Do you know how to read a menu and look for the words that you want to steer yourself toward and steer yourself away from? Like you want to kind of steer yourself away from the words au gratin, fried, crispy, words like that, and you want to go more toward grilled, broiled. Do you do that?
So no, that's a great tip.
Yeah, there are certain words you want to stay away from, and I did write a Huffington Post on how to eat out healthfully, whether you're traveling or your vacation, and so that's in there. So you may want to go on to you can either look up, I can't remember what I named the article, so just look up Margaret and look for eating out healthfully or something like that. And I give you a list of words to look for and a list of words to stay away from. And very often, I always say, Laura, the more fruits and vegetables you can eat, the better it is for you. But you also have to think about protein and make sure that you're eating protein. And often when people travel, they overload on carbohydrates and sweets. Now, I don't know if that happens to you. Does that happen to you?
Um, I think that because of our previous work that I'm staying away from the carbohydrates. Sweets, not necessarily, but I will say probably I share a dessert when I usually wouldn't at home.
Okay, so, if you share dessert, do you really think that's your trip up if you share dessert, or is it something else?
Staying away from fried foods.
Okay. Then that's what you need to focus on. That's what you need to plan on. When I hear someone say, I share a dessert once in a while and I don't usually at home, it's not usually a big deal. It's just not usually a big deal. I mean, if that's what you want to do, and, I would say just share a dessert if it's something you really love and not just something that looks good and someone else is eating it and you want to have. But if it's fried foods, whew, when I work with people, I say the two things you really want to be careful with, and not only because of your weight, but also because of your health, is fried and creamed foods. So obviously fried food is something for you. So the words you want to be careful of is fried, crispy, crunchy, anything that says fried. You want to try, and you can order the food, like if it's a fish, I don't know what you eat, but if it's a fish and it says crispy or almond crusted or something like that, that usually means it's fried. You can ask them for the same item, only have it broiled.
So let me ask you a question. If you like crunch, what are some things that you could eat to satisfy that urge?
Are you talking about crunch in your mouth or crunch in your protein items?
Crunch in your mouth.
Crunch in your mouth. Well, you might not like my answer, but there's numerous reasons why I'm giving it to you. First of all, you're on a business trip, correct?
Yes.
And you're talking to people all of the time.
Yes.
right? So I'm going to tell you this, and hopefully you'll embrace it. If you eat an apple, it will freshen your breath. So if you're talking to people and it's a business function, your appearance and your breath is important. So crunch, go for an apple. If they put out a tray of like fresh cauliflower or fresh anything that's a little abrasive, and you eat that, it will clean your teeth. So not only is it crunchy, it may take a stain off your teeth from maybe your dessert or a cup of coffee or something like that. So try and think like that. I don't know if that's the answer you were looking for, but I'm thinking business and being the best you can on that business trip. And if you like, chips or things like that that you find to go for crunchy, then just get the small bag and eat that. But it's not going to help you with your business trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the apple sounds like a good solution, and it's keeping me looking good inside and out.
It keeps your breath fresh. Yes, yes. I always say, if you're on a business trip, always have an apple in your suitcase, because just in case you have a really important conversation, take a piece of that apple and start eating it, and it freshens your breath. Gives you confidence. How does that sound, Laura?
That sounds wonderful.
Did we help you out today?
Yes, you did.
All right. Thanks so much for being with us, Laura. And if you have a challenge, please subscribe here and watch these interviews, because someone else's challenge just may be yours. And you can contact me, Margaret Marshall, at Margaret Marshall Associates, and we can set up an interview for you as well. So, Laura, have a great day. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.